Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Aquarius, we have a very powerful theme in your reading. I did a few cards just kind of get an idea of what the situation is around you and to see your energy in it. We're going to pull out tarot cards together, but first we're going to start talking about what's already on the table for you. So number 18. Now wait a second. Now as I say that, so number 18 is really significant for you, but as I say that, didn't I do a reading for you that had something to do with like 3 and 2, like 3 months, 2 years, or 3 years and 2, I think it was 3 years and 2 months, for something that's coming to my mind, like that I did a reading for you, and that came up, which is weird. That doesn't come up very often in my readings, where there's like, well, actually, I want to say I don't think it's ever come up, where it's been like a repeat pattern, where again, there's something about a number that's really significant, like as soon as I get into your reading. And it's number 18. So it's also, what's really interesting is that it's also the symbol of the moon card in the tarot, the major arcana, which can talk about illusions and fears and dreams and psychic abilities as well. Now, that also appears in your reading twice. Like, it's really crazy. So here, right? These two different decks, you have the moon. It's not numbered in this deck. And then you have the moon here, but it's number 50. But then here, in this underlying, you have another cat. And it's number 18. It's almost like it's following a pattern here. There's a pattern in your reading. The moon and the cat, like even in the typical tarot, there's like, well, let me see here. Well, this actually, it's funny. It's like this card, right? Like this moon card with the cats in the card. So there's something to do maybe with cats. My dog Lily doesn't seem too impressed with that the cats are taking front stage in this reading. Number 18 is really significant for you. Are you really coming down the stairs? What are you doing? That's funny. I don't think Lily liked it, but we were focusing on cats. Okay, I'm going to see how that unfolds for you as we go further into the reading, but I just kind of wanted to put that out there. There's a really powerful synchronicity here with number 18, and there's different ways to get to it. So I feel like there's more than one way to feed a cat. I'm going to try to change that phrase, and I think we all know what I'm talking about. There's more than one way to feed a cat. Okay, you are right now, the situation that you're dealing with is the Pearl card. So the Pearl, you're going through some type of situation where you are gaining a lot of wisdom. You're learning a lot in whatever's going on around you. It's not an easy lesson though. And to be quite honest, with all this moon and number 18 energy, there could be a lot of illusions that you create in your own mind about what circumstances could mean, where you're going to end up on the other side of something. It could be like, your own fears taking advantage of you at times, but being able to be logical in your approach and say, okay, well, 9 times out of 10, all the things that we worry about in life actually don't unfold. Most of the time they don't. So we end up spending a lot of energy and effort worrying about things that are out of our control and probably aren't going to happen in the first place. So because you have that heavy moon energy in here, I feel like that's part of whatever this is, that you are starting to develop a real sense of wisdom and knowing here. Now, you are being guided. Here's the other really cool thing about this, is that you are being guided here. So literally you have an angel. You have an angel here that's guiding you in this reading, right? What does it say? Spiritual guidance, protection from harm. I really am hearing you will be shown the way. And I think, because right, she has a candle in her hand, and it's almost like she's guiding somebody. Follow this light, follow the candle, follow your intuition. If you're in the dark, follow this light. That's like, there's an angelic force around you that's kind of like, I want to say, making sure that you'll be okay. Everything will be okay here. Just keep following me. There's an actual card in this deck that is just a candle, and it is you will be shown the way is what the card is called. And that is exactly what this angel is holding in their hand, is the symbol of that card, that you will be shown the way. So it's also learning the way. What is the way? Which way am I going? Where's this taking me? How should I get there? I don't know if you know where it's taking you, although it's taking you to something new, because the stork is what comes in with this. And this is talking about news of a birth, a new business opportunity. It's something new. It's the birth of something. I think it's significant in your life, because you're also, you yourself are coming out with the coffin and the moon. The moon card is sitting above this coffin card. You got 3 cards for what your energy is. You got the mask, the coffin, and the tower. Interesting, the moon is changes in your life. Okay, so there's some changes that have been going on in your life here. These changes could definitely like stir up some type of fears in you. These changes signify an ending. It feels very non-negotiable, this ending with the coffin card. What's fascinating though is that you have the April card with the mask. You have the April card with the mask, and April symbolizes spring to me, which is the energy of birth, rebirth. But you're going through something that looks like things are shutting down or things are ending. These endings stir up fears, but the fear I'm getting too, it drives your instincts here. And when you tap into your instincts, if you can do it in a way that you're controlling that and it's not controlling you, you can find the way forward here. You're also leaning into something that you've already been through in life. Like you've already done this to some degree. Because a pearl is also coming up to me as something that, okay, that's already there. I have this as a resource that I can utilize to figure out what's the right direction for myself here. I kind of want to say that you're also, that could be part of this newness in you. Like you could actually have been through something. Interesting. I'm getting that you have been through some type of difficulties in the past. You've learned a lot in that. However, it's like you've never really had the opportunity to apply it to something in your life. That's how this is coming across now. That's how the pearl is now able, like it's like, now I can use this. But you may not initially, like you might just be thinking and reacting in a way that is kind of subconsciously, but that subconscious energy is actually being driven by knowledge that you've gained in the past through something difficult that you went through, that you've been through in the past. You like, right? The third card that came out for you is Tower and Quill, which is get back to basics. The Tower can symbolize isolation. It can also symbolize some type of punishment. It does give me also the energy of like taking time out to think on our own. Now the Tower this is a very curious card in this deck, because it kind of gives me the vibe of the Hermit, the Tower card, and the Hierophant in the tarot. It holds a lot of different energies, because it can talk about isolation, it can talk about self-reflection, all very Hermit energy, but it can also talk about like the energy, not maybe so much the energy of destruction with the Tower, but the feeling of that. Why is this happening to me? Am I being punished here? Is there something that I've done wrong? What could be the reason that this is going on? And then the Hierophant, this card can also be about like institutions and things around us that have been built up that are much bigger than us. And then in some way or form, we're kind of wrapped up in the social construct with that beast of an institution and whatever that could be. So getting back to basics with the Quill, that feels like to me that there's something, either there's a plan that you're writing down, you're making a list. Are you making a list with the Quill? I'm really curious about the Quill. But back to basics also feels as though it's giving me more of the isolation energy. Is it actually you tapping into this pearl information, this wisdom that you have, and you haven't had the opportunity to use it? Although it sounds weird, because the opportunity to use this knowledge It doesn't feel like it's particularly like an opportunity that you would want to navigate. It feels tricky. It's definitely the symbol of rebirth. Rebirth and fears are heavy in this reading, but I'm so intrigued because you have the mask of spring. Or spring is hiding behind the mask. There's also a need with the mask is to be really discerning with how you're showing up and understanding that other people may also be showing up in a way that is not like playing their cards fully, like putting them out on the table and being really open with whatever their position is in a situation that you might share with them. Because spring is hope. Is there hope after this ending? An ending. This is an ending that is life-changing. It is. It's an ending that is life-changing. We're going to get to another card yet here that I haven't spoken about. Oh, now I see. There could be a... Okay, we'll get there in a minute. An ending that is life-changing, but you are being guided. And you're also... Maybe there's something going on here where you're getting out of dodge. It's kind of like getting out of dodge, right? Why is the lighting so... How did my camera get... I'm sorry, not my camera. My light is supposed to be a little more indirect so we don't have shadows and illusion on my face. But anyways. I kind of feel like something's going down here. That's the other vibe that I get. So, okay, the best way I can just explain... We're going to go into one of my story time metaphors here. It's kind of sort of like if you've been working somewhere for a while and you get a notice. Or you get notice. It could come through in a couple of different ways. Like you could get actual notice. You know, you have 2 weeks left and we're going to let you go. Or there's some policies that take place and you don't feel comfortable with those policies. So you're thinking like, well, I need to get out of here. I can't do this. This is not how I can function. I don't agree with these policies. But it's like it's giving me the vibe here that because protection from harm, that you're getting out of something is ending for you before it gets really bad. Before it gets really bad. And it's because this is not, because it's, right, it's not, you didn't get specifically the card, you will be shown the way. She is holding the candle to show you the way, this angel. And you're going to get it through spiritual guidance. I mean, maybe you're getting some sort of confirmation even in this reading, right? But you will be protected from harm. That's why you're being guided in a certain direction here. It's to protect you from harm. It is to take you to a new opportunity before something gets worse, possibly. But you experience the ending in this before that happens. So even though it might feel uncomfortable, and okay, that could be it too. It could even be the whole situation to you is masking is really, this is unfortunate, this is not how I thought things would work out here, but it's actually spring. This is like a benefit to you. You do feel like you are getting pulled away or out of something before it gets worse. Okay, so that brings us over here. I don't remember. What the hell did I ask with this card? With the younger man came out. It's associated with the pearl. Oh, it is what you have learned. Okay, the pearl, the stork and the angel with the pearl card. I asked when I pulled those cards out. I said, what is the wisdom that you are gaining from this, or that you have to use here, right? And we got new opportunity, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. That's the wisdom here. So again, like, right, like I'm leaning into, I feel like you've been through something before. It doesn't have to be the exact same situation to what you're going through right now, but the resonance and the way that you should react and survive through it, or thrive even, because that's a possibility for you down the road with the spring card. It's actually an opportunity for birth, is that you know how to, like, you know, if you're a chimpanzee and you've been in a situation with a group of, or like a leopard or something or whatever, and it was not easy. You got through it though, and you understand how to survive that situation. So now you find yourself in a situation with a lion, right? It's not the same situation, but there's the same reactions are going to get you through it, and you know how to do that now. So you might even, so maybe they were in a situation in the past where you ended up being there too long. You ended up being there too long, and you didn't know how to react through it. But right, that now I know, and that hindsight is 2020, and now I know when that's happening, I'm going through something like that, or something is flagging itself to be this in my life. I know I need to do this, or I know I need to watch for this sign. But okay, so as we kind of pull back around again to the pearl, I asked, well, what is the difficult, like what is the edge to this? Because the pearl is like a grit, right? It's only formed because there's some sort of irritant. Irritant feels like a really mild way to describe this. Some type of irritant that is creating the wisdom. Now it says younger man. Dealing to a relationship with a younger man. It could have something to do with someone who is less experienced than you. So you could be dealing with someone who doesn't have the same experience that you do. And when I say that, it doesn't just have to be about whatever your situation is. Like, like let's say this is something in a work environment and you're dealing with someone in human resources who is a lot younger and they don't have a lot of experience compared to the last person who was in human resources, and they had a lot under their belt in terms of different situations that they have experienced and navigated and understand both sides of a story. So like it could be that, right? That this person, if you're dealing in some avenue like that, this person is just like, they don't have it. But I feel like it's worldly. It feels more worldly to me that someone here you're dealing with someone that doesn't have the same experience that you do. And because of that, it might be the thing that's causing the strife. So the underline is then, it's fair man. Interesting, no? Because, I mean, it does talk about, it could be somebody who has a very light skin, who has very light hair. But I'm reading it as somebody who is fair, like does things equally or looks at things equally. Because the younger man is the problem with the strife, or the younger person or individual. There could be two different men here that you're dealing with. But I want to say it's masculine energy, so definitely something that's strategic and active also. Now that's underlying. So here's the other way that this comes across to me. If, let's say, you worked somewhere years ago, or you dated someone, or whatever it could be. This person was mature. This person had a lot of experience. They were quite intelligent in how they approached their situations in life, how they navigated fairness and equality, and and whatever that is, right? And then it's like you're in a different experience where you don't have that. So it's kind of like when you see what's not there, then you recognize the signs more easily. You're like, oh, okay, no. It's not, this person doesn't have the knowledge, the life experience, the worldly experience to be able to navigate this. So that could also be something that is taking you away. I don't know, I feel like you're seeing the signs here like, okay, I need to go in a different direction, or this is not going to end well. And you might be correct, especially if this person is like, you could even be working in a business here. Like it could be a family-run business or something. Like that's also another interesting way of looking at this. Again, it could all be very metaphorical for you. Family-run business, this person might have started from the ground up. They've got 30, 40 years of experience that they spent in this business, and now this business has been passed down to their son or something like that. It's like, things is not the same here. Not that a fresh outlook isn't important, especially in a changing world, but there could be some things here that just don't seem right to you. So right now you have I want to say too with this, because this cat card here talks about independence. It's not the familiar card, it's the cat. It's kind of like more the, although the moon is a familiar, to me that cat is a familiar. There's some type of independence here that I feel like you are claiming for yourself, or that you've needed to. But this is all about your intuition. This is kind of in some way, I don't want to call it that it's a test of your intuition. I don't think Spirit's testing you. I think it's just like part of life here. And you're applying what you know moving forward better than you have before. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even pull out tarot. I feel like we talked about so much. I'll just pull out like, here, let's see. What does the tarot say about the pearl? The Two of Wands. I love it, right? Like he's looking into the future because that's what this is about, right? You have the stork. It's a new opportunity. You're being guided forward and you're being protected from harm. Go forward. Don't go backwards here for sure. What's in the future? To look towards the future? You have the wisdom. I don't know. You're leaning onto something here. You have experience and you're also able to witness those around you that have this experience or this capability or don't. The mask, the coffin, and the tower. It's masking spring. It's yeah, something difficult. I'm hearing, well, one door closes, another door opens. Mask. The Two of Pentacles. You are, honestly, it feels like you're in the middle of materializing into another reality. Like dematerializing. I'm really kind of getting the whole Star Trek vibe there with the transporter. How fascinating. It does feel like kind of being birthed into a new world and a new reality. Coffin. Well, I would say that this is a very good thing to put the final nails into. It's not a good energy. And it's coming to an end here. The Tower. That's the Tower with the get back to basics, right? The Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. You know, like leaning into this Hierophant vibe, it sort of gives me the feeling as well as, I don't know, like structures around you that have become too complicated. Structures around you that have become too complicated. And it's almost like we need to look at the foundation here. We need to really look at the foundation, and that needs addressing. It's almost like this building, like there's some sort of structure in your life that I feel like is societal driven. It could be like some type of institution or something like that. But it's kind of like it was built on a solid foundation. I feel like it's built on a solid foundation. But it just kept building up and up and up and up. Almost like a sense of philosophical building, and applying that. Adding a new wing to this part of the building. Adding a new addition over here. Putting on a 10th story here. But it's like, whoa, wait a second. We're putting on all of this big... We need to get right down to the basics here. This is like, let's get right down to the basics. You might even find yourself that you've been kind of isolated, like you're noticing that there's things around you, they're too complicated. These things are too complicated, and they're almost pulling focus away from whatever's important. I don't know, it is like wide open what area of your life this could be in. For some of you, it might be work with, or a family, or I don't know. It's about rebirth. Oh, really? Yeah, as I say that, look at that. You have... Your underline is the High Priestess. I love it because that's like there's mysteries ahead, but just trust me and step forward. There's mysteries ahead. Just trust me and step forward. Ah, the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I really feel like whatever's going on here for you, that there's going to be a lot of like fruits of your labors coming through at some point. The Knight of Swords. Oh, really? I just heard the apple will fall further from the tree. It's kind of like, right, it's an apple tree. You're one of the apples on the tree. The apple will fall further from the tree. And then we get the Knight of Swords, and this is like, there again is following this light, and it's through a maze. It could be through a dark period, a confusing period. There's a lot of different avenues to go down. Some of them could feel like dead ends. And then you have the Fool, this fresh start, nothing standing in your way. Nothing standing in your way. Yeah. So that's what I have. That's what I have, Aquarius. I'm going to go do the extended. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Well, wait. Let's talk more about that. If you're interested in what I have to say, just hang on a second here. Or if you're not, you don't have to hang around either. I think in the extended, I'm going to look at... I'm just going to ask, what is the unexpected? Like, what could help you prepare? The unexpected and whatever it is that you're walking forward in, because it feels like a little bit of an unknown. So I'm going to ask that. So there you go, Aquas. Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.